I wanted to start with just a phrase that came to my mind this morning, and I wrote it down because it was very important to me. Humanity thrives where authentic stories are shared, heard, and understood. It's really hard to share my story tonight because not only do we have amazing speakers that came before me, but I also know, knowing Africans, having traveled in different countries in Africa, the different stories that you've overcome, the things that you have done, and the resilience that we have as an African people. I was a curious child, like many of you, and I want to believe that my childhood was beautiful. But I think a lot of the memories I have of it are made up because everyone here knows that a lot of African countries went through a war, and my country did the same. Both in Rwanda, my mother was to be killed because of her ethnic group, and in Congo, she was to be killed because of her nationality. I wasn't aware, I was a young child, and my mom created this whole scenario telling us, we are going on an adventure, yay! So we ran, and I thought, oh, we're running, so much fun. And I don't have the trauma of the war because I thought, people are sleeping on the street, they look kind of black and weird, but they're just sleeping, we're happy, we're so happy, The bombs were probably drums. And, so my mom created this imagination that sheltered my siblings and I, that's my sister, from what would have been a traumatic past. And for that, I am incredibly grateful. After a while, we actually had ran to a monastery, which is why cathedrals and large buildings with large ceilings like these give me a sense of peace. I have no idea why. So we fed a lot of rabbits. I don't know if we did. I honestly don't know if we did. But I know we were happy. And then, lo and behold, we go back to Rwanda, my mother's home. And that's how my journey begins. I will fast forward because, I'm not going to go from being 6 to blah, blah, blah. This is part of my journey. The platform that I've had has allowed me to sit with some pretty fancy people, hello, but also to listen to the stories of those that were in these meetings. It allowed me to see the humanity in different people. It also allowed me to give myself the confidence as a young woman to see the humanity in my own self. Yeah. I was lucky through my organization to meet Obama, to be awarded by the First Lady of my country, to be awarded by Tony Elumelu, hello, where is he? Over there. To be awarded by several people. But that's not what matters, because to me what matters is what do I use with my humanity to lift the next person up. So I'm a speaker. I share stories. I love sharing stories because I believe that representation matters. When I started my organization, I was 22 years old. That's why I look like I'm 16. I was 22 years old, and the first place my office was set was in a slum. My children, which I love, were children of prostitutes, children of fruit vendors, children of meat to you. Do you guys have meat to you in different African? Airtime vendors. Airtime vendors. They have a small phone. You buy airtime for 200 francs. Fruit vendors. Those were my kids, right? They came to our office every single day. I had 80 kids every day. And before meeting them, before working with them, my idea was, oh, what do they think they're doing on those streets? Can't they get better jobs? Can they be better? Why are they so lazy? Why aren't they showering, right? And I was like, oh, I don't want to touch anybody. Germs, right? And so we started working because we didn't have much choice. Because I thought, we need to lift Africa. and we need to start wherever possible. But I still went into that space thinking, I'm the savior, I'm fancy, I come on a moto, so they must listen to me. I didn't come with a mentality of listening to them at all. Throw out of the window, right? So then I started working with them. And for the first couple of months, they said, who the heck are you, dude? Like, what are you doing? We don't care about your fancy clothes. We don't care. Like, we're still going back to our same hunger. I learned in my community that 40 people had to share one bathroom. I learned in my community that my children, their parent had to choose, do I wash my kid? Do I cook? Or do I wash their uniform? So it humbled me. I was like, you don't choose not to shower. You actually don't choose that, you know? I get emotional when I'm talking about my kids. And I started restoring their humanity because nobody else was seeing them that way. So I thought, you know what, if we give them the opportunity to study, they will have scholarships to live better lives, blah, blah, blah. And then we imported a ton of books from Australia and the US. I took a video with my phone and I said, this is our situation, help us. They sent us all these books and I started teaching them. We started reading for them. I actually have pictures. Thai. We started teaching them, and then they kept saying, oh, of course, Cinderella can exist. She has to look like Cinderella in the book. Oh, of course, it makes sense. Superman, Spider-Man, because those were the books that I was sharing with them. And then I said, scratch that, scratch that. So I became an author. Hello. Shameless marketing right here. If you want to buy my book, please feel free. We started releasing books by Africans so that our princesses would get lost in a banana plantation riding a cow, so that kids can know that even though they don't shower every day, they can rise. So this is my team. I lead an awesome team. We go read for kids, no matter their levels of economic background. We interact with them, we give them hope, we play with them, we see them. Because like he said, I'm here because you're here. And because like the tower that we have, people pave a path for us because they see us, because they consider us. So this is what we started doing. It picked up. Thank goodness that pays my bills. Because it's one thing to have a passion, it's another thing to have it feed your pocket. Yeah? And I'm grateful that I have a job that feeds both my soul and my pocket. Yeah, I love my team, so I always flaunt them everywhere. We have fun. We have fun engaging young people. This was our launch. We launched the story of a young Rwandan. She lost her parents during the genocide. She battled cancer. She won the battle. She became a strong and inspirational woman. We published her story. She traveled about 4 countries in Africa. She's doing West Africa next year. And these stories are changing because we produce the quality that people take abroad and say, here's your birthday gift. And abroad, they no longer see us as, oh, these poor Africans. They see us as creative, as dignified, as represented in this country. Also, I'm a human. I love nature. The reason why I posted this was because it's very easy for me to be stuck in my own ego. Yeah, I was covered by lots of media houses. I've traveled the world. I have a lot of high-level pictures, right? But this is just me, hey? I listen to music. I love making friends. I love getting curious about who I am and where I'm going next. I think sometimes Africans, we are still moving slowly and beautifully out of the survival mode that we think, you know what, I need to fake it till I make it so much that we forget our own humanity. You know, I like, you know, all these pictures. I had to do that because Thai, but We post all these awesome pictures, high-level pictures, high platforms to impress. But I just wanted to impress you, hopefully, with my humanity, because you're human too, yeah? Yes, we have great successes. You have great successes. But my heart and your heart is what's going to change Africa, not our drive for money, not our drive for success and pedestals. I don't have a lot of time, but my call for everybody is first to look within yourself. Who are you? What is your space in this world? What is your space in this universe? What does humanity mean to you? In what area do you want to say, hey, this is where I feel like I'm going to change my world? Some people stay awake because prostitutes are still on the street. How are we going to help them in a way that dignifies them? Some people stay awake because biogas, there's all sorts of like cow dung and our own dung everywhere. You know, some people stay awake because strategy. What keeps you awake at night? And listen to that voice, yeah? There's this lady who said, follow your curiosity because it doesn't require as much risk as passion. Passion requires give up everything and go. But your curiosity is a doorway to the next little step. And it doesn't require you to quit your job and sell your house. It just requires you to listen and open the next door. What keeps you up at night? The last thing I would like to say is, when we listen, are we quiet, waiting for our turn to talk? Or are we trying to connect to the humanity in the other person? Yeah? So let's learn, because I see my African people, my people. I believe I'm Pan-African, half Congolese, half Rwandan, traveled to Somalia, went all these different countries because I wanted to see what is the story being told. And one of the things we have in common is we need to rise. And we get so addicted to that need to rise that we forget, hey, I'm actually a human being. I'm actually just me, you know. So my call is, do we see the humanity in our own selves? And do we share the stories of our humanity in a way that they will listen? I'm an author. So I hope to hear that the next J.K. Rowling will come from Africa, hey? The next Nicholas Spark, the next crazy romance, the next crazy self-help, the next crazy whatever will come from Africa and from an authentic and vulnerable space. Africa will rise and we will do better. Find your space and find your humanity. Thank you so much.